Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a brand new video. And unfortunately we've got a leak in the workshop roof today, which is why we got the coat on, but we have come to pick up the latest car for the channel. And there we go. So we have got a flat tyre. I do buy some beauties, I must say. So we've got a flat tyre, and apparently this has been left here because the ABS is stuck on. So what I'm going to look at doing, see if I can get a jump pack on it, get some air in that tyre and see what's going on. Just whacked a jump pack on it, so we'll see if it will start. Come on. Aha! It's alive. Right. I'm going to chuck the tyre inflator on now, let that run for a minute. So if you can hear me over the tyre pump there, I was told that this car had an ABS issue, and that he basically was stuck here and wasn't able to move. There's no, as you can see at the moment, we've got no ABS issue on the dash at the minute. I did notice that, well, I did, sorry, try and put it into drive, and it goes into neutral and it goes into drive, so I don't quite know what's going on there. So I think we'll wait until that tyre's pumped up, take the battery pack off, and then we'll probably just run it around the block and see if it's going to cause any issues. I think it's stopped raining now that I've finished doing what I'm doing. Typical. The tyre is now all pumped up. We still haven't got any more lights on the dashboard, so I guess it's just a case of seeing what happens, really. The handbrake wasn't on anyway, so oh, it moves. It's moving. Where are the keys to my car? The driver's side wiper is fantastic. And the steering wheel is disgusting. Oh, there we go. Right, we're now getting our ABS issue. Right, now it's doing it. Right, let's plug it in and see what's going on then. Right, so we've now got the ABS doing its thing. Yeah, basically the ABS is just sort of cutting in randomly. There's no lights on the dash, so I'm just going to pop the scanner on and see what's going on. So as you can see behind me, guys, we're having to leave this one here. We did do some fault code reading, and I cleared all the codes. There were loads and loads of codes, all to do with things like battery voltage and stuff like that. Loads of ABS issues going on there. So I cleared them all down, tried to drive it up the road just to see if we could get it working, and unfortunately the ABS is just cutting in at really low speed. So I don't want to drive this thing. It's not safe for the road for the minute, so what I'm going to do is get this thing recovered. So the first thing we're going to need to look at doing with this thing is getting that ABS sorted so we can actually see if it will go faster than 1 or 2 miles an hour. So what my plan of action is, as you saw earlier in the video, I had cleared all of the faults off of the system here, and that was just basically to see if I could get it moving enough to get it home, and unfortunately that wasn't the case. So now I haven't got any faults in the system, and there are a whole host of random weird and wonderful issues, under voltage, over voltage. It was saying there was issues with the front sensors, the back sensors and all sorts, so there wasn't really too much to go on in the beginning there. So I'm going to start with the basics. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a visual look around the car. I'm going to look to see if any of the ABS sensors look to be damaged or unplugged or anything like that. And then the second part is I'm going to take a look at the ABS rings which are attached to the drive shafts. It is quite common on older cars for the rust underneath on the drive shaft to start swelling up over time, and sometimes they can put pressure on the ABS rings and actually break those rings, and then you're not going to get a true reading from the ABS. In some instances you'll actually find that it pushes up and touches and damages the ABS sensor itself. So that's what we're going to make a start on. We're just going to work around a wheel at a time and see if we can spot anything untoward. Glad I undid the locking wheel nut with a bar beforehand, because that was really tight. We'd have snapped that bad boy off. Would have been a fantastic start. I have got an axle stand just tucked under here on the lower arm, just in case you can't see it on the camera. The wheel arch lining has been removed. As I said, the previous owner was looking for the ABS issue, and I think they got into the assumption that it needed an ABS pump. Well, that's what they were starting to look at. So I can't see anything wrong visually with this sensor. It's a genuine Merc one. It's all plugged in here, so I'm just following the routing of the wiring down, just seeing if there's anything obvious. And then, unfortunately, on this particular car, you can't see the ABS rings easily. So I'm going to have to undo this nut here for the drive shaft. Undo that, push the drive shaft in a little bit, and then we'll be able to spin it, hopefully, and see the ABS ring. Managed to get this hub nut undone. We just locked the brakes on as we did with the wheel when we were unbolting the wheel, and I think so I've managed to push the drive shaft in, and I think we've managed to find something. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see it with the camera here, but basically where I've pushed the drive shaft out the way now, at the bottom of this assembly where that drive shaft is poking out, you might just be able to see it there. Sorry about my shaking, but I'll hook that piece out and we'll have a look at that, because there also is a little bit wrapped around the ABS sensor. So I might just have had a stroke of luck, or it might well be that they're all like this. But yeah, I'll see if I can hook that out and we'll take a closer look in a minute. So what I was saying earlier was that the ABS ring sometimes sits on the drive shaft CV joint. So you've got your ABS sensor here, and then the ABS ring will sit on this, and then as this drive shaft spins, it can measure the gap, and it can measure obviously the wheel spinning, and then it knows when the wheel is locked by using the two. But I think on this one it doesn't actually have an ABS ring on here. The ABS sort of pickup, as it were, is part of the wheel bearing, so it's got an inductive type sensor in the wheel bearing there. And as I just showed a moment ago, what we've actually managed to dig out is all of this here, and it basically looks like this is the cover that's meant to go over the back of the wheel bearing on the sort of very outer section, and it looks as if that has sort of broken away and got caught up. as you can see. So I think the idea is obviously to keep the ABS sensor protected, and this piece has come away, and obviously that bit there had got jammed up where the ABS sensor was, but also I think with this off, the air gap's going to be wrong. That could be something to consider. So yeah, I think we're going to need to replace that bearing and then see if that makes any difference. So in order for me to do that, I'm going to need to take the caliper and caliper carrier off, the disc off, take the top, there's a top wishbone nut there, trap rod end and a few other bits and pieces in order to get that whole hub assembly off, because I need to press that in and out using the floor press. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna take 5, have a think about it, and then I'll probably get on and disassemble all of that. So I thought I'd try my luck, and I popped the wheel back on the car and just drove it on and off the drive a couple of times just to see if that made any difference. The ABS is still cutting in and out, so what I am going to look at doing now is taking that hub assembly off, getting the wheel bearing replaced, and then we can check back in and see if that's made a difference. Right, so what I did with that one was basically the bottom ball joint was spinning in the lower arm, so we used the trolley jack to push that up, and that's then allowed that sort of ball joint to be pinched in the lower arm, and then I could undo that. So that's that one undone. As you can see, the top one's now undone. We've just got to do the track rod end now. So what I tend to do as well is just wire brush them down a bit first. We've now managed to swap out that wheel bearing, so we've got ourselves a nice new one in there. The ABS sensor did come out fairly easy. I did check it for damage and I couldn't see anything, so I've just popped it back in for now and we'll see if that works. It's getting quite dark now. I've been doing a few other things and it's raining as well, so what I'm going to do is pop this hub back on and then pop the wheel back on and see if that's resolved the issue. Last night we managed to get all of the near side front hub assembly back on and bolted on, and I have just turned the car round to make it a bit easier because I need to replace the battery, and they have hidden the battery. The car will open. Oh, that's still open. They've decided to hide the battery on this under the driver's seat, so I'm going to work out what I need to do and see if I can get that out. The battery is buried down under here, which is a bit awkward considering when you've got an electric seat and a flat battery. So I've hooked a battery up onto the front jump points, and then that's allowed me to move the seat forward. I've then disconnected that and given me access to get to the battery here. I did find a pencil, but unfortunately it's no good. I'm just going to pop another battery in there for the minute and then put that one on charge, see if we can bring that one back to life. Eventually it went. I do need to have a look at that starting issue. It's another one for the list. Got the glow plug light on over there. What else we got? Ram flat tyres. See if we can. There you go, we've got a brake lamp on the right, which I need to do, and then I think a reverse lamp on the left. Backup bulb on. No. Reverse. Reversing lamp left. Yeah, so I'll do those bulbs quick. Right, here goes nothing. We're now off on our maiden voyage to the fuel station. Yes, well, we're now doing 10 mile an hour, so that's better than we were. Got an ABS light on. Try the brakes. Ah, seem all right. Okay. Just to drive all right, a bit bouncy. There's a bit of a knocking on the offside front by the sounds of it. Like a drop link or something like that. Right, well, I'm going to grab some fuel for this thing and then we shall pop down to the MOT station. So we took the car for a spin. All seemed to be all right, seems to drive okay. As you saw a moment ago, we popped into the fuel station, got ourselves some diesel, and we popped over to get ourselves an MOT. And unfortunately, we failed. But to be honest, we haven't failed on a great deal, really. It's got two front side lights, position lamps not working, one of the windscreen washers not providing enough washer fluid, and the near side mirror is slightly insecure. I could have got those bits done there and then got it retested, but I decided not to because there's a few advisories as well that I want to take care of. So the rear pads are wearing quite thin. It's got an oil leak but not classed as excessive, and just a few other bits and pieces. So what I'm going to look to do is get those bits sorted as well, and try and, you know, get a few of the advisories off, as well as getting those defects rectified as well, so that we can get a pass and a bit clearer MOT. We are going in. So now that we've cleaned off all of the engine oil, we've managed to determine where the leak was coming from, which is the crankcase breather. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump on the computer, get one of those ordered up. I need various other bits and pieces, so we're going to get a service kit for the car because we want to give the car a good service. We want to change the auxiliary belt because that's all split and damaged. Get some glow plugs for the starting issue, and there's quite a few other bits and pieces. As I've been going around the car, I've just been making myself a nice list, and it's growing ever bigger. But yeah, what I want to do is get all of those bits, so in the next episode what we can do is get on with those, get the car re-MOT'd, get it serviced and get it fit for the road. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.